Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing really well. So this week I wanted to give my first impressions of Evolve Skateboards Carbon GTR, and also I suppose really now that I've tried the Carbon and having ridden I suppose mostly Evolve bamboo decks, namely the GT and the Stoke, I wanted to, I suppose, give my impressions of the difference between the two. So stick around to the end of the video for the difference, but right now I'm just going to go through I suppose, my initial impressions of the GTR. So, like I said, having ridden, I suppose, for the last year, I suppose, really, on my bamboo GT, and a combination of different things. So it should be noted I had a combination of street wheels, 97 Evolve street wheels, 80s 7-inch, and foamies, the 120s. All have different, obviously, benefits and advantages and all that sort of good stuff. So I've ridden all of them, and I must say, bamboo kind of deck was fantastic. I absolutely love it, and I still do, to be honest. And riding that, it takes away a lot of the, I suppose, some of the bumps and some of the kind of things that you would associate with a board, especially if you're on street wheels. Although street wheels you're going to feel a lot more, foamies a little bit less, and then ATs you don't really feel much at all. Obviously you've got that bounce and that flex, so that makes a big difference. So going to the Carbon, I wasn't sure. It was a board that I've been after for a while, a GTR, not necessarily Carbon. This came up, and I kind of couldn't turn down the offer, to be honest. It was a decent offer, and shout out to the chap that sold it to me. It's not very old and well looked after, and I absolutely love it. Now, riding the Carbon, which I suppose is more akin to my original board, which was the Meepo V2, where it's obviously got a stiffer deck because of the Carbon. But I must say, I've taken this now on street wheels, done a long 20-odd round trip on street. I haven't done foamies yet, and probably won't do. And I've ridden a bit on ATs. I've done about 15 miles on AT the other night. And I must say, apart from the flex, it hasn't really made a huge difference to me. I can obviously tell, like, you know, the flex isn't there as much and stuff like that, but actually riding on a Carbon, I thought it would be a lot, not necessarily a lot worse, but a lot stiffer than what it is. So the ride in terms of this, I mean, I've got to say, on street wheels, like I said, I've done a 20-odd mile street run the other weekend, and this thing is stable at speed. I was hitting 21, 22, which, you know, for me is quick, and it was just rock solid. It planted itself to the ground. There was no speed wobbles, nothing at all. It was absolutely fantastic. Can't fault it, and this thing just flies. The Carbon deck, the sleekness of it, the battery enclosure, all the normal Evolve stuff that you come to like if you like Evolve boards. You know, along with obviously the good after customer service and stuff like that. But I absolutely love this deck. This board is kind of everything I hoped the GTR was, and certainly coming from a GT rather than a GTX to a GTR, you notice that huge jump. So, for instance, on street wheels, I think I'd done 21 miles on Pro with some speed, some cruising, various things, and I got back and I still have 56% left. I mean, that's phenomenal that you can get, I would say, almost 40 miles out of that thing on street, which is phenomenal. It's just amazing with the right street setup. I done 15 miles the other day on ATs, and I come back with 36%, which means I can easily do 20 miles, and that was road, that was rough terrain, that was up 20-25% hill incline. So this thing just threw everything at it, and this thing just wants more, which is perfect and exactly what I want out of a board. I can't fault the build quality. For me, the build quality is fantastic. It's what you come to expect from Evolve boards, certainly the newer ones. I love my GT, my Bamboo GT is going shortly, because I've got my Stoke and I've got my GTR, so I've still got that bamboo sensation from my Stoke, and I absolutely adore that. It's a fantastic little board. But I've got to say that this board itself is just brilliant. Highly recommended if you haven't got one of these, or you're going for a GT and you're thinking whether you should upgrade to the GTR. To me, it's definitely worth the money. It's worth the jump. Yes, there are other Chinese manufacturers coming along, and they could be good, they might not be. I've kind of gone in what I know, I suppose. So I'm certainly not an Evolve fanboy, but I like their products and I will continue to ride them. Doesn't mean to say I won't ridden anything else. I've ridden the Meepo, I've ridden other boards. I'm by no means an expert, so you know, take this with what you will, with some of the information I've given you, and make your own decision. Obviously, this is my personal opinion. So the other thing, in terms of between the flex and, you know, the flex of the bamboo and the carbon, if you're on the fence about it, to be honest, to me it doesn't make a difference. I do ride, certainly at the moment when it's warm. I do tend to ride more on a daily basis, and I haven't really noticed the difference in terms of the flex, between the flex of the bamboo and the carbon. Obviously there is a difference, but not so much that personally I notice. So it kind of depends on what you want. You'll definitely get more stability on a carbon on street at high speeds, just because of the nature of the board, and without so much of the flex. On the bamboo, in my experience with my GT, so it's a little bit hard to compare to the GTR because they're different boards. Yeah, but to compare it to that, and even the Stoke, you know, you will get some speed wobbles at high speeds just because of the flex of the board. So it kind of depends on what you want and what you want to ride. You know, personally, if you was going to ride all street wheels, I'd go with a carbon. If you want those rougher kind of terrain bits in terms of the road, I'd go with some foamies. And then obviously if you want to go full AT, you know, go for the AT wheels. So anyway, that's my impressions, my thoughts. Hope you enjoy this video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and see you again very soon. Bye.